My name is Mary. I'm 40 years old. I have two children. My husband, John, is 45 years old. We have been married for 18 years. When we first got married, I was happy. John was kind. He smiled often, and every day he said, "I love you." I believed him. I wanted nothing more than to build a good life with him. After 2 years, we had our first child, a son named Adam. He is smart and full of humor. 2 years later, we had a daughter, Lily. She is gentle and loves to sing Dot in the beginning. John was a good husband. He worked hard and supported us financially. I stayed home to take care of the children. I cooked, cleaned, and helped them learn. Life felt stable. But after some years, things began to change. John started working late. He traveled often, but didn't explain where he was going. He no longer said, "I love you." When I asked him why he was always so busy, he replied, "I work for this family. Don't question me." That made me sad, but I stayed quiet. I loved him and hoped he would change. Then, 7 years ago, John went on a trip. While he was gone, I found two plane tickets. One had another woman's name, Lisa. My heart shattered. I cried for 3 days. I felt lost and alone. When John came back, I asked him, "Who is she?" He said, "She's nobody. Don't worry about it." I didn't believe him, but I stayed quiet. Adam was only 3 years old at that time, and I didn't want to hurt him. Over the years, John didn't change. He kept working late, going on trips, and I knew he was still seeing Lisa. My heart grew cold. I kept the house clean, but it didn't feel like a home anymore. I cooked meals, but there was no joy in it. When I looked at John, I no longer saw the man I married. I saw a stranger. One day, I met someone from my past. His name was Alex. We had been friends long ago. He was gentle and kind. I noticed the way he treated his wife. He opened the car door for her, helped her with her coat. I thought to myself, that is care. That is love. I never had this. Alex and I started talking. He asked me, "How are you?" I answered, "I'm fine." But the truth was, I wasn't fine. He listened. He told me, "You are important. You are strong." For the first time in years, I felt alive. I smiled again. I laughed again. For 3 months, we talked. I didn't want gifts or big promises. I only wanted care. I wanted to feel loved, but John found out. He was angry. He shouted, "Why did you do this?" I said, "Because I needed love." We had long talks after that. John cried. He said, "I love you." "Please don't leave," I asked. "Why now?" "Why, after 18 years. He said, "I didn't know you were hurting." Then one night, I became very sick and had to go to the hospital. John stayed with me. He held my hand and said, "Don't leave me. I love you." For the second time in 18 years, I heard those words. Now John is at home. He sleeps beside me, but I know Lisa is still waiting for him. I don't know what the future holds. My heart is tired. I want to believe him, but it's difficult. For my children, I try to smile. I try to stay strong. I know I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes too. But all I wanted was to feel loved. After everything, I started thinking deeply about my life. Many nights I stayed awake, staring at the ceiling. My mind was full of questions. Should I stay? Should I leave? What is best for my children? What is best for me? John tried to change. He spent more time at home. He helped with small things, like taking out the trash or washing dishes. He asked, "Do you need help?" These were small steps, but I noticed them. Still, my heart was not the same. I felt like I was living with a stranger. When I looked at John, I didn't see the man I married. I saw the man who broke my trust. One evening, I sat at the table with Adam and Lily. We ate dinner together. They laughed and shared stories about school. I looked at them and thought, they're so happy. They don't know the pain in my heart. After dinner, I asked Adam, "Do you think Daddy and I are happy?" He looked surprised and said, "I don't know, Mom. You're kind to each other, but sometimes you seem sad." Lily, who was younger, said softly, "Mom, I just want us to stay together. I don't want anything to change." Her words made me cry. I didn't want to hurt them, but I also knew I couldn't pretend forever. One day, I went to see Alex. We hadn't spoken since John found out. I needed to say goodbye. When I saw him, he smiled and asked, "How are you?" I said, "I'm trying to fix my life." He nodded and told me, "You're strong, Mary. You'll find your way." I thanked him and said, "You gave me something I'll never forget. You reminded me that I am important." Then I walked away. I knew it was the last time I would see him. Later, I sat down with John. I told him, "We need to be honest with each other. Do you really want this marriage to work?" He looked at me and said, "Yes, I want us to stay together. I made mistakes, but I love you." I asked, "Can you leave Lisa? Can you give me the love and care I need?" He said, "I will try." I told him, "Trying is not enough. I need you to mean it." After that, John began to spend more time with me. We went for walks. We talked about little things like the weather and the children. Slowly, I felt a bit of hope, but my heart was still unsure. Forgiving John was the hardest thing I ever did. I remembered all the pain. I remembered the nights I cried alone. I remembered the plane ticket with Lisa's name. But I also thought about my own mistakes about Alex and the time I spent with him. One day, I looked in the mirror and said to myself, "Mary, you are not perfect. You made mistakes too. If you want peace, you need to forgive. Now, I take life one day at a time." John and I are still together, but things are not perfect. He says he loves me, but I still feel doubt. I focus on my children. I want them to grow up in a happy home. I try to smile for them, even when my heart feels heavy. Also focus on myself. I started reading books. I go for walks alone. I learned how to love myself again. One day, I wrote a letter to myself. It said, "Dear Mary, you are strong. You are kind. You are important. Life is hard, but you can handle it. Remember to love yourself first. Then you can love others. You deserve happiness. Don't forget that. I keep this letter in my drawer. When I feel sad, I take it out and read it. It reminds me that I am not alone. This journey taught me many things. I learned that love is not just words. It is action, care, and respect. I learned that people make mistakes and nobody is perfect. Most importantly, I learned that I am strong. I can survive pain, sadness, and loss. And I can still find happiness one day at a time. Asterisk, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, A One Story Time, for more English stories and lessons. Hit the bell icon to get notified when we post something new. Your support means so much to us. See you next time.